What is up, everybody? It is me, DevilNeverCry, and of course I'm back with some more DMC coverage. Now, for those of you who don't know, there was a Dante showcase today where we learnt a bunch of new things about Cerberus. But before I get into that, I'd just like to quickly apologise. I haven't been uploading as often as I usually do, essentially because of university. I've got a bunch of deadlines for this week that I'm trying to meet, because obviously we've got TGA coming up, and I want to be able to cover that without having to worry about uni work or anything else. So I've sort of been focusing on that, but rest assured I will be covering anything and everything that comes out of TGA. So with that out of the way, let's sort of dive into what we see here in the showcase. Now, first of all, we come to find out that Cerberus has been renamed as King Cerberus. Now, unfortunately, Matt and Itsuna were talking in Japanese, and we haven't got a translation of what they were saying yet, so all we have is this footage. Now, as you can see, we've got Dante using good old Cerberus here in the void. And first of all, we get a look at some returning moves. Now, the first returning move that we get a look at is the Ice Age move. For those of you who don't know, this was a level 3 Swordmaster attack in DMC 3, which encases Dante entirely in that sphere of ice. Then we get a look at the Million Carrots move. It's the move that essentially props the enemies up. And you can see Dante go on to combo them here. Then we get a look at the Revolver Attack. These are all attacks from DMC 3. I'm assuming they all have the same inputs here, but it's good to see that all these fan favorite moves are returning because, hey, it's a weapon that we know and love, and it will feel right at home essentially when we get our hands on this controller. But then we get a look at the electrical weapon, and it sort of reminds me of the Artemis firearm essentially. It's the firearm from DMC 3, which obviously shot out a bunch of purple masses, but then at the same time it seems to be sort of mixed in with Nevin here because obviously it's all electrified. And all these attacks obviously look fantastic. The animations, the effects, the lighting, everything looks great. But it seems like this weapon will be a lot more versatile considering we were able to use a lot more setups essentially. You know, you can throw out some of those slow moving orbs, you know, tricks to teleport over, and it can be used for all sorts of crazy setups it seems. At the same time, it does look like a crowd control weapon as well, considering it's got a lot of arcing movements that seem to sort of spin around Dante in a 360-degree pattern essentially. So again, this whole idea of versatility is great. Then we get a sort of a move where he seems to just slam the weapon into the ground, and you get these spires of electricity just shooting out. For some reason they seem to remind me of the attacks that Phantom did with the lava pillars, except now it's just pillars of electricity. Then we get a look at the bow staff, and Dante seems to be going wild here. He seems to use the weapon in a sense of, as like a snooker cue. For those of you that play pool, you know what I'm talking about. But again, sort of a focus on wide swinging attacks here. A lot of maneuverability. We can see Dante just sort of like diving in with his attacks right there. We even get sort of a throwback to the the pole swinging move that you got in DMC 3 in that that club, where you can see Dante do the move sort of mid-air, and it's fairly crazy here, to be honest. A lot more versatility. The fact that they did this right before TGA, you know, it's sort of just, they're getting everything out of the way because I'm assuming something big has to be dropping here. I mean, we are getting closer to release. The marketing for the game is likely ramping up and up and up. And it sort of makes sense, but I'm just glad that we're getting all this information because obviously the wait has been quite long. But it seems I digress here. I don't want to drone on and on about what I've just seen, so I've just given you guys my quick thoughts on things. What do you guys think though? Are you guys happy with Cerberus and how he's sort of turning out so far? Why has he exactly been renamed to King Cerberus? I'm sure that's something we'll find out in the game, but for now that's just another enigma that spawned from DMC 5. Now, if you want to discuss these things further in detail, I do have a Discord for you to join. I'll leave a link down in the description to that. If you want to get at me personally, I'll be on Twitter as well. There'll be a link to that in the description. But I want to thank you for watching. Stay tuned because tomorrow's going to be a big day. And as always, I'll see you next video.